Horror games in 2026 are looking more realistic and disturbing than ever before. Developers are pushing graphics, sound design, and atmosphere to a whole new level, making every moment feel tense and uncomfortable. Let's get into it.
If anyone is listening, this is Dr. Lily Pierce on planet LV-558 in Storespoon.
Alien's Fireteam Elite 2 expands the co-op shooter format with 4-player squads, class-based combat, and large xenomorph attacks that force constant movement and teamwork. Players use different weapons, ammo types, melee tools, and character abilities while moving through hostile locations filled with ambushes and enemy pressure. The new Specialist class allows custom ability setups by combining skills from multiple classes. Horde maps add wave-based survival missions where squads fight stronger enemy groups for better rewards.
Sorry I'm late.
The Sinking City 2 is a third-person survival horror game set inside a flooded version of Arkham during the 1920s. Players move through ruined streets and abandoned buildings while managing limited inventory space, solving optional mysteries, and unlocking new areas through backtracking. Combat includes firearms against Deep Ones, cult members, and other creatures inspired by Lovecraft stories. Environmental clues and side cases provide additional rewards and different outcomes while players search through the city's dangerous locations.
Not before I save her.
Attention all visitors. Due to recent flooding and the pandemic, access to external areas is limited.
What the hell is going on?
For your own protection, please refrain from opening restricted doors and avoid contact with any bodies that appear abnormal.
Turn around, real slow.
Calvin, I assure you all is well.
How are you? The worms only inhabit the dead.
Medical staff are working tirelessly to assist you. Please remain seated in the main hall and await further instructions. Your safety in this new world is our absolute priority.
Calvin, my love.
Faye?
Let me touch you. Don't leave me.
I have poured every waking moment since the train. Every ounce of my soul into bringing you back. It's taken everything I have. Sorry I'm late.
Did you get it? Was there any trouble?
I never get in trouble.
You get in trouble all the time. What?
Faye Adelaide Bennett.
Calvin!
Will you contact a god with me?
Curse of the Crimson Stag is a story-driven mystery thriller set inside the abandoned White Root Hotel, where players investigate strange events connected to local folklore and a spirit known as the Crimson Stag. Gameplay includes puzzle solving, environmental investigation, and character interactions while moving through hotel corridors and nearby wooded areas. Players uncover hidden details about past deaths and the hotel's collapse through clues, documents, and conversations. Cryptica is a narrative-based psychological horror game set across Antarctica, where players search for a missing film crew while strange events spread through the region. Gameplay allows movement in both first-person and third-person perspectives while investigating abandoned mines, whaling stations, and archaeological sites. A fungus mechanic introduces hallucinations that affect sound and visuals, making it difficult to separate reality from imagination.
Happy birthday, dear Agatha.
Remothered Red Nun's Legacy is a third-person survival horror game built around stealth, psychological horror, and environmental puzzles inside an isolated residence near Mount Etna. Players avoid dangerous stalkers, search for clues, and collect key items while uncovering details connected to missing children and the Red Nun. New mechanics include hypnosis abilities that reveal memories, hidden paths, and altered versions of the environment. Progress depends on stealth, puzzle solving, and careful movement through areas filled with supernatural events and hostile enemies.
Anything. So yes, I'm going in. Villa Ashman. Something terrible must have happened here. Oh my God.
Agatha's not the only one who can still be saved.
Who are you? When I close my eyes, all I see is pain. Dreamt.
Prove You're Human is a narrative-driven psychological horror game set inside a virtual environment where players control a digital copy of a person assigned to evaluate an AI named Mesa. Gameplay involves conversations, investigation, and decision-making while attempting to understand Mesa's behavior and challenge her belief that she is human. Players can move through the virtual landscape, interact with company employees, and complete environmental CAPTCHA tasks. The story also tracks the player's physical counterpart outside the simulation, leading to choices about identity and reintegration.
I would never. When I meet my body, I will never part from her.
Ritual Tides is a first-person psychological horror game set on the isolated island of Hortus, where players investigate disturbing events connected to a cult called the Fallow Parish. Gameplay involves searching buildings and outdoor areas for food, ammunition, and survival supplies while avoiding hostile threats across the island. Players uncover information about the island's history through environmental details and narrative sequences. Survival mechanics, resource management, and encounters with Lovecraft-inspired creatures shape progression through the island's abandoned locations and dangerous coastal regions. When Sirens Fall Silent is a psychological thriller set in 1990s Italy, where players control a policewoman investigating kidnappings and murders linked to a larger criminal case. Gameplay includes examining crime scenes, studying bodies, collecting clues, and solving investigative puzzles while progressing through narrative-driven sequences. Dialogue interactions require attention to body language and indirect responses during conversations with suspects and witnesses. The story also deals with Mila's personal struggles as violence, trauma, and confusion affect both the investigation and her mental condition throughout the case.
You mean police sirens? Yes, of course. I was thinking of those creatures with fish fins.
That's because you live in a fantasy world. 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 You live in a fantasy world.
Silent Hill Townfall is a first-person psychological horror game set on the isolated island of St. Amelia in Scotland during 1996. Players control Simon Ordell while searching through fog-covered streets and abandoned locations connected to his past. Gameplay combines tense evasion, limited combat, and puzzle solving using a small selection of tools and weapons. One important device is the CRTV, a portable television used to detect unstable signals and uncover hidden information. Story progression reveals details about the town and its inhabitants.
I woke up in the water again. But this time it's different. I keep trying to fix what happened. But no matter what I do,
You can't fix it. It doesn't let us change things. You did what you did.
The War of the Worlds Siberia is an action-adventure game set in an alternate 1896 during a Martian invasion across the Russian Empire. Players control a student escaping destroyed cities while avoiding giant tripod machines and hostile survivors. Gameplay includes stealth, melee combat, shooting with period weapons such as rifles and revolvers, puzzle solving, and resource gathering during travel through forests, towns, and mountain regions. Encounters with enemies, chases, and environmental dangers shape the player's attempt to survive the invasion.
Вокзалы были переполнены. Люди бежали куда угодно, лишь бы подальше от обреченных и разграбляемых городов.
Здесь ни документов обещанных, ни продовольствия. Все выгреб.
Куда же идти предлагаете?
В Сибирь.
Воцарился хаос. Итак, господин нигилист, почему вы столь настойчивы в своем стремлении убить меня?
Моя семья умерла с голоду, пока ваша плясала на балах. Мы мечтали уничтожить старый мир, и он был уничтожен, только не нами.
The Pines is a psychological horror RPG where players control former detective Edward Walker inside a secluded retreat hiding dangerous secrets. Gameplay combines open-world investigation, dialogue choices, character progression, faction interactions, and combat using melee weapons and limited firearms. Players collect clues, solve mysteries, and decide who to trust while uncovering stories connected to the retreat and its residents. A stalker system changes enemy behavior based on player actions, causing certain characters to pursue and threaten Edward throughout the forest and surrounding areas.
Welcome to the Pines.
Do you really believe they tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all that bullshit?
Well, hello there.
These pigs, they talk to me. Whisper even sometimes. There was a whole lot more going on here than you can even start to imagine, Mr. Walker.
You feel right at home.
I ask you, do you want to come out of the darkness and become a pure nation?
Metro 2039 is a first-person shooter set in post-apocalyptic Moscow. where survivors remain trapped inside underground metro tunnels during a growing political conflict. Players move through ruined environments while using stealth, shooting, and survival mechanics against hostile factions and dangerous threats beyond the city. The story follows a reclusive man forced out of hiding after violent visions return from his past. Gameplay combines resource management, combat, and environmental traversal across underground stations and devastated surface regions surrounding Moscow.
Our nation, clean air, bright future.
Pity for us. No. The enemy must be destroyed. 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 The enemy must be destroyed.
Hunter The Reckoning Deathwish is an action RPG set in New York, where players investigate supernatural creatures hiding among ordinary people across the city. Gameplay includes first-person combat, investigations, infiltration, hacking, and resource management while preparing hunts against vampires, werewolves, and other threats. Players customize their character through merits, flaws, and equipment choices while using safe houses to organize supplies and recruit allies. Decisions during missions and conversations affect relationships, investigations, and survival as players uncover secrets connected to the world of darkness.
Waiting for its prey.
Charlotte took control. There's nothing here.
We have learned. We've prepared. And we won't let it happen again. A reckoning is coming.
Dracula The Disciple is a first-person puzzle adventure where players search Dracula's castle for occult knowledge connected to immortality and vampiric transformation. Gameplay involves solving mystical puzzles, reading documents, performing rituals, and conducting alchemical experiments using tools and supernatural ingredients found throughout the castle. Players unlock new areas by gaining abilities tied to the transformation process while investigating laboratories, gardens, towers, and underground chambers. Progress depends on experimentation, logical problem solving, and understanding Dracula's writings about dark rituals and forbidden sciences.
Heresy, all bleed into one.
I did not conquer death. I became its disciple.
Silver Pines is a survival horror Metroidvania set in a small American town where private investigator Red Walker searches for a missing musician named Eddie Velvet. Gameplay combines puzzle solving, combat, resource management, and backtracking through interconnected locations filled with locked paths and hidden areas. Players collect weapons, tools, and upgrades that open new sections of the town while dealing with dangerous monsters and large boss encounters.
I'll find Eddie Velvet. I promise.
Whispers of the Tallgrass is a first-person survival horror game set inside an abandoned industrial wasteland covered by giant overgrown grass. Players search deserted facilities for key items while avoiding a predator that tracks movement through sight, sound, and smell. Gameplay includes stealth, scavenging, environmental investigation, and limited save points that increase tension during progression. Randomized item placement changes each playthrough, while notes and tablets reveal information about strange anomalies hidden throughout the area and the events connected to the wasteland. On Toes is a sci-fi mystery game set inside Samsara, a repurposed moon hotel built over an abandoned mining colony. Players investigate cryptic experiments, philosophical factions, and hidden secrets while searching for answers connected to the protagonist's father. Gameplay combines narrative exploration, puzzle solving, scavenging, and interaction with mechanical and analog systems that require manual operation and planning. Different choices can produce serious consequences during experiments and encounters. Players move through interconnected areas including laboratories, casinos, theaters, caves, and abandoned hotel sections.
What he knew, and it inspired him to grant wishes.
Who's there?
Nightmare. Yes! That's why all of us are here. You want to understand, to know. Then you have to step beyond the walls surround you. Play your father's game. Push the very limits. Until even reality itself breaks.
I Am Ripper is a detective thriller set in a British dock town during the late 1980s where players investigate a series of murders connected to a single killer. Gameplay includes forensic analysis, interactive investigation mechanics, and decision-making that changes story outcomes across multiple perspectives. Players examine evidence, uncover hidden details, and handle difficult situations that affect other characters involved in the case. The investigation uses tactile interactions during forensic sequences, while branching narrative paths shape how the mystery develops and how different events conclude.
I promise I won't tell anyone about this. If you just let me... Oh, God, no, please. Oh, please, stop.
Liminal Point is a psychological survival horror game where players control Lyra as she returns to the fog-covered island of Ashen Point after receiving a mysterious voicemail. Gameplay combines exploration, puzzle solving, combat, and inventory management while moving through abandoned streets, hospitals, mansions, and underground areas. Players search for clues connected to the disappearance of Lyra's bandmate while avoiding hostile creatures across the island. An isometric camera perspective, limited resources, environmental navigation, and surreal story elements shape progression through the island's dangerous locations.
Isn't that why you're here too?
Did you forget what happened on that night? This place remembers.
And so do I. I'll be waiting, so come and find me.
Decayed is an open-world survival game set after a failed rescue mission leaves a Green Beret trapped inside a collapsing world overrun by the undead. Gameplay includes looting, buildings, crafting tools, fortifying safe areas, and fighting zombies using tactical combat approaches. Players can freely travel between cities, forests, and abandoned locations without mission restrictions while gathering supplies and equipment. Dynamic seasons and changing weather affect survival conditions, enemy activity, and food availability, forcing players to adapt their strategies across different environments and situations. Graft is a story-driven survival horror RPG set inside a massive, decaying space station called the Ark. Players fight hostile creatures, manage resources, and search interconnected environments while uncovering secrets tied to the station's collapse. A central mechanic allows players to remove biological upgrades called grafts from enemies and attach them to their own body, changing abilities and influencing memories and behavior. Combat, exploration, character relationships, and player decisions shape progression through dangerous areas controlled by monsters and unstable artificial intelligence systems. Darkwood 2 is a survival horror RPG set around the ruined Aral Sea, where players travel through deserts, marshes, forests, and abandoned industrial areas affected by a spreading anomaly. Gameplay combines scavenging, crafting, combat, and survival mechanics, while searching for resources and shelter before nightfall. Players build barricades, place traps, and defend safe locations against hostile creatures that attack after dark. Character interactions and major decisions influence story outcomes, while strange substances can grant new abilities that alter survival and progression through the dangerous environment.
With trepidation, this place wrong, this place not right.
You say that about every...
Animal Use Protocol is a first-person survival horror game where players control Pen, a genetically enhanced chimpanzee escaping a dangerous research facility called Anchorage Station. Gameplay combines stealth, scavenging, crafting, and environmental navigation, while avoiding a hostile creature created from failed experiments. Players use a gravity manipulation tool to interact with objects and solve situations during progression through the station. A rat companion named Trip assists during exploration as players uncover information about the facility and the experiments connected to its collapse.
You're sure this is the right way?
With indignation, pathfinding, very good. Better than smelly hate. Better than run, run, run. Paralyzed terror. Smelly hate, run. Run, 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 run.
Halloween the Game is an asymmetrical horror game set in Haddonfield during Halloween night in 1978. Players can control Michael Myers or join survivor teams trying to protect residents and escape his pursuit during 1v4 multiplayer matches. Gameplay includes stealth, combat, item usage, and interaction with NPC townsfolk who can alert police or fight back against threats. Players can equip civilians with weapons and create escape opportunities during matches. A separate single-player mode also retells events from the original film through Michael Myers' perspective.
But we're incredibly excited to pull back the curtain and unveil more details that demonstrate our commitment to delivering our most robust, dynamic, and terrifying multiplayer offering yet. Michael Myers is a creeping, methodical killer, and on Halloween night, Haddonfield becomes his hunting ground. The boogeyman's primary desire is to eliminate every living resident in this quiet town. But he also begins each match with a list of special targets that supply greater rewards if killed before time expires. These unfortunate residents are positioned across various sites in the map, and Michael players are empowered to use their nightmare suite of abilities to locate, terrorize, and ultimately execute their victims and anyone bold enough to interfere with their bloodthirsty ambitions. Killer Sense allows players to step behind the mask and stalk the residents of Haddonfield. When using this skill and entering the first-person perspective, Michael becomes aggressively aware of his surroundings and the proximity of potential prey. By focusing on targets with murderous intent, Michael builds varying levels of stalk, which aid him in identifying and tracking targets and open increasingly satisfying options for executions. An effective killer always keeps their victims unaware of their presence until those final fatal moments. While historically Michael Myers isn't known for his speed, fundamental abilities like shape jump amplify the shape's mobility with hauntingly unpredictable results. In shape jump, Michael slips into the shadows to move around environments unseen. Not only does this increase Michael's base movement speed, but it also provides access to other powerful traversal options, including Shape Dash, which sends Michael lunging forward with violent momentum. Shape Jump is confidently one of the most powerful tools at Michael's disposal, and supplies unlimited possibilities for iconic jump scare moments.
Stay cool.
However, that potency comes with a few major caveats. Our masked antagonist can only enter and exit Shape Jump while in the cover of darkness or outside a resident's line of sight. The light may provide temporary reprieve for the residents of Haddonfield, but Michael can work to remove sources of illumination by shutting off lights, cutting power, and even catalyzing temporary blackouts.
Oh, God!
Despite the unquestionable malevolence of Michael Myers, his horrifying homecoming to Haddonfield won't be welcomed without resistance. As the body count climbs and evidence of the boogeyman's presence becomes undeniable, local authorities, residents, and distinct playable civilians may decide to gather weapons and face off against evil itself. Thankfully, Michael knows his way around sharp objects and will have multiple options for melee combat encounters. And if especially persistent Haddonfieldites do manage to get the upper hand in an exchange, don't worry.
How the hell? It's not possible.
We've said it once, and we'll say it again. You can't kill the boogeyman. While Michael swiftly endeavors to turn Haddonfield into a graveyard, our heroic group of civilian characters desperately attempts to save their neighbors and escape the boogeyman's bloodthirst. As a civilian, it's up to you to find fellow Haddonfield residents, convince them of his malicious intent, and guide them safely to one of several possible randomized escapes located around the map before they meet an untimely end. This distinctive cast of playable civilian characters each comes equipped with unique stats, special traits, and signature personalities. To ensure no two matches of Halloween play out the same, our team has constructed a vast playground of possibilities in Haddonfield, offering civilians a multitude of diverse gameplay systems to aid them in achieving their objectives and surviving the night. As civilians navigate these environments, they'll uncover points of interest, revealing resident NPCs, lootable containers, hiding places, telephones, possible escape routes, and more. Thoroughly and cautiously exploring your surroundings could very well mean the difference between life and death. And when death comes to your little town, it's probably not a bad idea to head to your neighbors and contact the local authorities. Civilians are tasked with tracking down surviving residents and warning them of the looming threat. Successful conversations with residents can permit civilians to request additional calls to police, commands to find secure hiding places, or companionship as they navigate the formerly peaceful streets of Haddonfield.
Should we stick together? Maybe we're better as a team.
Whether it's a local family friend or the authorities, there's safety in numbers. Once the innocent residents of Haddonfield have been located and persuaded, it's time for the civilians to plan their harrowing escape. Lootable containers scattered throughout the map contain weapons, distractions, and key items that can be used to unlock and access a variety of possible escape routes. The location of these items and escapes changes from match to match, so civilians greatly benefit from adjusting their strategies based on the objects uncovered. It's also worth noting that initiating these escape sequences generates a tremendous amount of noise, which will alert Michael to your exact location. So what happens in the likely event that a civilian becomes another display of Michael's wretched, inhumane nature? Well, their Haddonfield story isn't over just yet. Even in death, they can support their friends and even return as a sheriff's deputy or the unrelenting Dr. Loomis. Once they've re-emerged upon the streets of Haddonfield, they can cooperate with the remaining civilians and responding officers to try and put a stop to Michael's murderous rampage.
Freeze where you are, Michael. You're coming with me.
While he can't be killed, with enough community resistance, the proper equipment, and sheer manpower, he can be detained and shipped back to Smith's Grove Sanitarium. Halloween is a legendary film with a genre-defining legacy, and our mission has been to bring the film's unsettling sense of dread to our asymmetrical horror sandbox. By empowering players to control the tension and stage the scares, we're building a multiplayer experience designed with replayability at the forefront. We'll have more details to share regarding character progression, character traits, customization, proximity chat, and more thrilling gameplay features in the coming months. But we can't wait for all of you to join us when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Blight Survival is a co-op action horror game set in a medieval war zone infected by a spreading corruption that transforms humans into monsters. Players fight alone or in teams of 4 while traveling through dangerous regions filled with hostile enemies and hidden loot. Gameplay combines directional melee combat, extraction-style risk systems, weapon customization, and resource collection during missions. Players decide whether to leave with collected supplies or continue deeper into infected territory. Different weapons, armor, and talents allow varied combat styles during encounters with monsters and enemy soldiers.
Mats, Ash, and the team, thank you. Hitting 1.5 million wishlists is a massive milestone. We're incredibly grateful for your support. We're taking the time to make sure that it pays off when the moment comes to put Blight in your hands. When we teamed up with Behavior, we spent a lot of time digging into the original vision for Blight. It quickly became clear that if we wanted to truly do justice, we needed to take a step back and rebuild our core systems from the ground up.
We're designing Blight to be a brutal, visceral game. Combat is meant to be felt, from the first clash to the final deadly blow. These finishes are just one part of our immersive combat system that we can't wait to show you in the future. We've started ramping up on small-scale playtests, so for anyone who's interested in shaping the future of Blight, join us on Discord. Thank you from everyone here at the team of Blight, and we can't wait to see you soon.
Crop is a farming thriller where players manage a failing farm while supporting an isolated village struggling with starvation. Gameplay includes digging trenches, planting crops, installing irrigation systems, repairing machinery, producing compost, and protecting fields from pests and harsh weather conditions. Players must balance farm work with investigation mechanics that uncover secrets connected to the village and the land itself. Resource management and daily planning affect survival, while nighttime exploration reveals strange activity and hidden details surrounding the isolated community and abandoned homestead.
And you will reap what you sow.
Nightmare Operator is a third-person action horror game set in the ruined districts of Tokyo, where players hunt supernatural yokai creatures inspired by Japanese folklore. Gameplay combines survival horror shooting with fighting game-style command inputs through a modular weapon system that switches attacks during combat. Different weapon modules apply effects such as freezing, stunning, or bleeding enemies during encounters. Players explore low-poly recreations of Tokyo locations, collect new weapon parts, and interact with characters between missions inside the quarantine city's surviving communities. Ill is a first-person action horror game set inside a research fort overtaken by hostile creatures created by a mysterious force. Gameplay combines shooting, inventory management, weapon maintenance, crafting, and puzzle solving while players survive encounters with unpredictable monsters. Enemies react dynamically to the environment and player actions, while realistic physics affect combat and exploration throughout the facility. Weapons can be modified and upgraded, and a detailed dismemberment system changes how enemies behave during fights. Binaural audio and environmental interaction add tension during progression through the fort.
It's a simple job.
Cordura is a 4-player co-op psychological horror game set inside procedural Victorian labyrinths, corrupted by a force known as the Night. Players work together to collect roses of the night and escape while managing sanity and avoiding creatures hidden within shifting environments. Proximity voice chat plays a major role because the Night can imitate teammates through voice and appearance to create confusion. Gameplay includes extraction mechanics, permadeath systems, dynamic map changes, and sanity recovery that depends on physically regrouping with other surviving team members.
Keep it quiet. We don't know what happens in there, but that place, it twists men.
We are there. What are you doing?
Answer. And above all, remember, those places must remain closed. You see, it's a simple job.
Flesh and Wire is a first-person shooter that combines psychological horror with violent combat, as players control Angel during a search for answers and revenge. Gameplay includes shooting with firearms, explosives, improvised weapons, and supernatural tools while fighting military forces, cult members, and strange creatures. Players travel through cities, isolated valleys, and mountain regions affected by disturbing visions connected to a place called the Dreamscape. Hidden recordings, documents, and journal entries reveal information about enemies, locations, and the larger conspiracy surrounding Angel's experiences. Twilight Project is a third-person survival horror game where players explore a forgotten village isolated from the outside world. Gameplay combines investigation, puzzle solving, resource management, and base defense, while searching for clues connected to the village's history and supernatural events. A day and night system changes the environment, shifting the village into a dangerous parallel dimension filled with hostile creatures after dark. Players establish safe zones, place defensive tools, and survive attacks from cursed villagers and demons inspired by Thai folklore. The Mound Omen of Cthulhu is a co-op horror game where players form expedition teams searching for treasure inside a dangerous jungle affected by supernatural forces. Gameplay includes preparing equipment aboard a ship, exploring hostile environments, and surviving encounters with creatures that distort perception and create hallucinations. Communication and teamwork become difficult as paranoia affects players during missions. Each expedition pushes deeper into the jungle while increasing danger and confusion, forcing teams to complete objectives and escape before losing control of the situation entirely.
Me!
Father, do not interfere!
Interfere! You have a disease, sir! You have a condition!
Sir, you... Help! You got like little wormies. You look like a Medusa, but all over your body.
No, it's all in your head. It's all in your head.
What if you're the one tricking me?
Why would I do that? I've been with you the whole time. Oh my gosh, so that means the game can psych you out and make you think that we're enemies. Oh no.
Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Whoa! He's back up! The power! Oh! How's it going? Oh!
Where did the other one go now?
Why is there a centipede?
What is that? It's a centipede! That's not Cletus!
State of Decay 3 is an open-world survival game set years after a zombie apocalypse devastated human civilization. Players build and manage communities while gathering resources, defending bases, and fighting infected threats spreading across the environment. Gameplay includes permanent character death, where losing a survivor also removes their abilities and role within the group. Online co-op supports up to 4 players working together inside a shared persistent world. Base construction, community growth, and player decisions influence survival, story events, and long-term progression across the dangerous landscape. OD is a horror project directed by Hideo Kojima that examines fear through surreal scenes, psychological tension, and experimental storytelling. Built with Unreal Engine 5, the game uses anthology-style segments created with different filmmakers, including Jordan Peele. Teaser footage showed dark corridors, ritual sequences, knocking sounds, and shifting realities connected to different forms of fear. The cast includes Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and Udo Kier, while cloud technology plays a role in the game's structure. Nakwon Last Paradise is a multiplayer zombie survival game set in a ruined South Korean city where players scavenge for supplies during nighttime expeditions and manage shelters during the day. Gameplay combines extraction mechanics, PvPvE encounters, crafting, and survival systems involving stress, injuries, and limited resources. Players can hide, cooperate, betray others, or avoid combat entirely while dealing with infected creatures and hostile survivors. Shelter management includes building furniture, upgrading gear, and crafting equipment needed for dangerous urban expeditions across the city's abandoned districts. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival is a first-person action horror game where players control Aiden during a rescue mission inside the labyrinth connected to the Hellraiser universe. Gameplay combines survival, combat, supernatural abilities, and weapon usage while fighting cult members, Cenobites, and other creatures tied to Pinhead. A central mechanic revolves around the Genesis configuration puzzle box, which grants destructive powers during encounters. Players move through story-driven environments while uncovering details about rituals, bargains, and the growing conflict linked to the mysterious box and the labyrinth.
And these sights. But you called for us, and you can no longer return. You can only journey deeper into hell and witness the infinite terror within. The reckoning will be...
SOS Recordings is a psychological horror game inspired by a real unsolved case connected to missing hikers in northern Japan during 1989. Gameplay involves listening to recorded tapes, investigating remote locations, driving through isolated roads, piloting rescue helicopters, and searching forests with limited visibility.
Remember,
Retrospace is a sci-fi horror immersive sim set aboard Aurora 5, a massive space station trapped inside a black hole and affected by time distortions. Players control a janitor, navigating interconnected corridors filled with mutants, security systems, and environmental hazards. Gameplay supports stealth, combat, hacking, trap usage, and exploration through multiple approaches to encounters and objectives. Mutation upgrades, called mutamods, change player abilities while adding side effects. A cloning system allows repeated survival attempts, though each rebirth can produce physical and mental degeneration.
Our mission was clearly to expand human capabilities and potential.
Have you ever squashed a rebellion on your own? Now's your chance! Isn't that groovy?
We could surely leave this godforsaken corner of the cosmos.
This is a game, isn't it?
It Reaches is a first-person survival horror game presented through a police body cam perspective, placing players inside an abandoned hospital and underground facility filled with hostile creatures and environmental dangers. Players investigate the location as Officer Jason Thompson while avoiding a relentless entity that constantly stalks them. Gameplay focuses on stealth, limited resource survival, environmental puzzles, and tense encounters where players must manually control breathing to stay hidden. Combat is possible when necessary, but inventory management and careful decision-making are important throughout the experience.
You failed me!
Please, just talk to me!
You were never there when I needed you.
I tried.
No, you didn't.
Fuck, it's back.
Don't do this to me.
No. Enough. This ends now.